It began with the forging of the new curriculum C2C, one for a Year 9 English class and one for a Year 10 English class. Each were different in their own way. The 10s were elves, the wisest and fairest of all my students. They were intelligent, kind, and diligent learners. On the other hand, the 9s were quite different. Above all else, they desired power over the teacher. Therefore it was up to me, the young, brave, little teacher who had to find a way to bequeath both knowledge and a thirst for learning to both of these classes. The path that I was going to take was never going to be easy, and this was something I knew. What I had to bear was a heavy burden, which became heavier as the weeks wore on.
I will take the ring to Mordor. Though I do not know the way.
I will help you bear this burden, Frodo Baggins, as long as it is yours to bear.
If by my life or death I can protect you, I will. You have my sword. And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Carry the fate of us all, little one. If this is indeed the will of the Council, then Gondor will see it done.
So off I began on my perilous journey of endless challenge and strife. My journey seemed easy at the start, as I had the guidance and strength of the Fellowship of Teachers behind me. Teachers like Aragorn, the year-level coordinator, and Gandalf the Grey, my supervising English teacher, who watched over me every step of the way.
I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
If it weren't for these wise teachers, who I often ran to for advice, I wouldn't have made it to the top of Mount Doom, reaching the pinnacle of my internship. The time soon came where I had to make this journey alone, and I was foolish, thinking I could take on anything that comes my way. But one does not simply walk into Year 9 English. My challenge began when I had to teach the topic of bullying through a dramatic play. My class comprised of an interesting bunch. The most interesting of all were my two students Gollum and Boromir, who came from the land of New Zealand. They wanted the power and would do anything they could to distract the others and steal the attention away from me. This made it particularly hard to teach, let alone read the play that was set. But I knew my content well and did what I could to design lessons that were engaging, intellectually challenging, and fun. Victory was near in some lessons, but the power of the students could not be undone. Getting through the reading of the play was like trying to navigate the mines of Moria. Incessant talking and disengagement accompanied these lessons, and it was clear that these students had low literacy levels. However, I couldn't take their misbehavior and neglect any more, and one day, I snapped. I shouted at the troublesome students, telling them that they were the bane of my lessons. But to my dismay, they just laughed. Clearly my strategies of either silent perseverance or yelling didn't work. What I didn't realize at the time, but later came to know, was that I actually needed these students. Gollum did have the softer side when Smeagol came out, and Boromir didn't really need the ultimate power, he just needed to fight the urge. These students were my guides, especially Gollum, who showed me how I was going as a teacher on my journey. They made me want to plan for more effective learning, and to create and maintain a challenging learning environment. I strove to do this through coming up with clear-set learning goals, logical consequences for bad behavior, and clear boundaries. But more than this, they taught me the importance of getting to know one's students. Once I got to know my students better, I realized why they behaved the way they did. More often than not, it was because they needed the care and understanding they did not get at home. When I learned about the different backgrounds these students came from, I was shocked, but realized this explained a lot. Getting to know Smeagol and assessing his learning was the best thing I ever did. As I gained more respect and attention, I realized that every class is different and not every class can be like my angelic elves in Year 10. Therefore, getting to know the individual students and what makes them tick is perhaps the most important thing I learned from my experience. But my journey doesn't end here. Throughout my career, I will get more golems, but I will also need them as my guides to show me where I go wrong and what I can do to get back on the right path. It is true that teachers never stop learning, and I know I